Welcome everyone to another session on current affairs by Civil 360 IAS Academy. In this session, we'll be discussing about the Urban Challenge Fund which was recently announced in the Union Budget. Okay, so basically I'll just explain the gist of the matter. The Urban Challenge Fund basically tries to give grants, give funding to the urban local bodies based on performance indicators. Okay, so basically the idea is to give them funds only if they perform or they satisfy certain indicators. So it is a shift from the earlier regime of grant based funding. Okay, so earlier the urban local bodies used to get grants, but now it is performance linked. Okay, performance linked. So this is actually related to the public administration principle of new public management, but that bit you don't need to know that much. So just remember, the Urban Challenge Fund is used, or it is based upon the urban local bodies should satisfy certain indicators, okay, certain performance indicators. So if they satisfy that, the funds will be released. So the first point regarding the Urban Challenge Fund is that it was announced in Union Budget just for the financial year 2026. Okay, so it was announced in the Union Budget financial year 2026. Okay, so it is a central sponsored scheme. Okay, central sponsored. So there will be contributions from the center as well as the states. Okay, and the timeline for the Urban Challenge Fund has been initially from financial year 26 to financial year 31. Okay, and the target is for the urban local bodies to raise at least 4 lakh crore. Okay, 4 lakh crore for project. For various projects in the urban local governance. Okay, so for the first year, like about 10,000 crore has been released, and the target is 1 lakh crore. Okay, for the first year, the target is like 1 lakh crore. Okay, of which 10,000 has been already released by the center. Okay, by the center. So the funding pattern is, say for a particular project is there for an urban local body. Okay, 25% will be from the center. Okay, center will give 25%. 50% has to be raised from the market. Okay, has to be raised from the market in the form of loans. Okay, or in the form of bonds being issued by the urban local body. That is muni bonds, right? Then also as a public-private partnerships. Okay, and the next the last 25% will be raised by the state or the UT, okay, the central body. Okay, so the center is saying that this 25% that the center will release, it will only release provided the urban local body does satisfy certain performance indicators. So it is a comprehensive, the rules are yet to be notified, but the performance indicators will be from urban governance indicators. Okay, what else? Transparency indicators, okay, or digitalization indicators. Okay, so certain qualities, there is certain quantifiable, measurable targets will be kept. Okay, and once the center will or the urban local body gets or achieves those indicators, this fund will be released. Okay, so basically the idea is when a market actually funds for a project, it will demand a certain rigorous it will demand a certain professionalism in the funding. So the objective is to convert this urban local body into a bankable asset. Okay, so into a bankable asset. That is, urban local bodies, the government is trying to push the urban local bodies as a source or as a destination for market investment. That is the idea of bankable. It is trying to make urban local bodies bankable. Okay, so they are saying that we will give you funds, you do all these reforms. So when they do all these reforms, the market will also will be interested, because there will be transparency, there will be adherence to rule of law, right? So there will be a lot of private sector participation. So it's all, everything is actually linked. Okay, so center is saying that you do all these reforms, okay, and we will give you funds, and when the urban local body does these reforms, it will attract market based funding as well. So it will make the urban local bodies bankable. Okay, then the next is what all cities are actually covered. You have various other urban development missions, like for example, Amrut is there, so Smart Cities is there, Swachh Bharat Urban mission is there. All those missions, there are various projects being covered. So this will apply to only those projects that are not covered under those schemes. Okay. So it tries to create a new set of new projects. Okay, new projects. So those projects that are covered under other schemes will not be covered under the Urban Challenge Fund. Okay. So another important thing you have to remember is that the Urban Challenge Fund. Okay, so basically it has three verticals. Okay, that is three broad areas under which projects will be approved by the center, okay, for funding. So it will approve projects that are aimed at creative redevelopment. Okay, so creative redevelopment means various projects, like for example that reduces traffic, okay, improves the quality of living. Okay, then water and sanitation. Okay, water and sanitation, like for example sewage treatment plants, municipal solid waste, waste to energy plants, all those kind of things, or just water, wetland conservation. All these things will be notified in the rules, but projects that are related to these verticals will be covered. Then cities as growth hubs. Okay, growth hubs. This is a keyword that you can use in your mains answer as well this year, because questions are related to municipal, you can bring these keywords: cities as growth hubs, creative redevelopment. Okay, transit oriented development. This includes projects that improve or are aimed at transit oriented development. Okay, transit oriented development is pretty simple. It simply means that say you have a metro station, you bring your development around that metro station. Okay, so public transport facilities will be, the infrastructure will be there. The development should be around those that infrastructure, around the transit hubs. Okay, so this will ease congestion, ease the you can take your bike to work. Okay, so that easy accessibility to work will be ensured. It will improve the value of land. It will improve the efficiency of use of resources of land, because land is limited, right? So these kind of projects that are aimed at these verticals will be covered under the Urban Challenge Fund. Okay, so then what all cities are actually covered? Okay, so I just forgot one thing. It's actually under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, but that is, you can take a guess regarding that. Then what all cities are actually covered? Cities that are actually, cities like for example that has a population of above 10 lakhs. Okay, those cities with a population greater than 10 lakhs will be covered under the Urban Challenge Fund, and all the state and union territory capitals will also be covered. If they are not covered under this criteria, those capitals, state and UT capitals that has a population of that, even if they don't have a population greater than 10 lakh, they will also be covered. Okay, then there is also provisions for a credit guarantee. Okay, the center also for smaller cities. Okay, so for smaller cities, for less than 1 lakh, okay, with less than 1 lakh population, okay, in the hilly states, in the northeastern region, okay, you have a various first-time borrowers will be there, first-time borrowers. Okay, so for them, the center has also given a 5,000 crore credit guarantee fund. Credit guarantee fund. So the center will also provide credit guarantees to smaller cities. Okay, smaller cities. So basically that's all about the Urban Challenge Fund. So just remember the idea. It is to make the urban local bodies take up various reforms so that they can become bankable. Okay, so effectively there's a shift from simply grants to market linked. This is actually a market linked fund. Why? Because 50% of the fund is actually raised from market. So the market will demand results. Market will demand return from that project. Right. So there is a market linked bankable, trying to convert that urban local body into a bankable, so destination of investment. Okay, these are the central ideas. So whenever for the prelims as well as for mains, that idea should be there. So for prelims, the general statement may be given, but this, if you have this understanding, you may be able to crack that question. Okay, so remember Urban Challenge Fund, when it was announced, how much funds are involved, who is funding it, under which ministry it is, what is the general objective of the fund. Okay, then what else, what are the overall structure and of the funding scheme. Okay, so that's all about Urban Challenge Fund. Thank you.